Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the T95E2. This is a tier 8 American premium medium tank with preferential matchmaking. The game I'm playing is a standard battle on Lakeville with tier 8 as the top tier and 1 artillery on each team. For this game my tank is equipped with a gun rammer, coated optics, and a vertical stabilizer. I'm running a large repair kit, large first aid kit, and cola. Since this tank has pretty good silver earning potential, I'm not too worried about losing any in battle, even running premium consumables. I definitely noticed a performance improvement when I started using cola with the tank, because the gun's accuracy and aim time isn't that good, so it gets noticeably better with an improvement from the cola. I'm using my most experienced American crew, which has 17 crew skills and perks. Now I just took a massive hit from the artillery. This is not a good way to start off the game. That took me for over half my hit points and now I have to play a little more conservative. Despite this setback, I still want to remain very active since I'm top tier and this is an ideal position for me to fight in. This whole side of the map offers great opportunities for the T95E2 to excel. This tank is primarily a ridgeline fighter, and you quickly see how active of a damage dealer this tank can be when the terrain is favorable to fight on. My teammate Light Tank is making a courageous charge into enemy territory. He spots out a bunch of targets here and I'm trying to make the most of his distraction. I was very surprised to find the artillery was over by the enemy base. When I initially got hit I thought the shell came from directly down the corridor here, so my position here wasn't actually good to hide from the artillery, and I'm really lucky that I didn't take another hit. Fortunately the Light Tank's assault move pays off and the artillery is down. It's going to be a lot safer to work this ridgeline now, and as long as I keep moving back and forth, the enemy's going to have a hard time targeting my weak spot, which is the huge commander's hatch on top of the turret. I was very impressed with how long my light tank teammate managed to stay alive, but it appears he rammed into the T95E2 on the other team. Now my team has a decent advantage here, we're up by a couple tanks, and I felt that if we pushed forward we could have the upper hand and take this flank. Sadly with my low hit points I can't lead the charge myself, so I signaled attack there to try to motivate my teammates to make the assault move. Because with such a large concentration of tanks there's no reason for me to sacrifice myself when one of the heavy tanks could easily just go for it and take a few hits. Since my teammates were content with a standoff there, I decided to fall back and defend my base. The other flank took quite a bit of damage and is now undermanned, and it appears that as soon as I left that position, my teammates rolled forward. But now I've already committed to defending the base, so I've just got to repel the enemy assault. Since I'm going to be fighting targets at about a range of 400 meters, I'm definitely glad to have the cola on right now to improve my accuracy, as well as my view range to outspot the enemy. With the base defended and my teammates doing well in the mountain pass, I decided to push along the lake road and come at the enemy from a different angle. I wasn't expecting to come across the T98HTC here. I own this tank myself and am familiar with the weak spots, so after my initial rush shot I was able to reliably penetrate it. Unfortunately I take a hit here and my already low hit points really suffer. I miscalculated his reload time here and I almost take another hit, but RNG is on my side and it bounces off my turret. Now that he's finished off, I can make my way towards the enemy base. It's a very close game here, and with my low hit points, there's not a lot of room for mistakes. I was actually hoping here that my Hellcat teammate would have stayed on the base to put pressure on the enemy, but at least he's trying to get shots at a different angle than I am to divide this Super Pershing's attention. A great assault from two different directions with my teammate allows us to take out that Super Pershing without taking any more damage ourselves. This is a very balanced game here with a T95E2 and a Tier 6 on each team. Even in death I can still find a use for my teammates and their wrecks are doing a great job at blocking me. Since the enemy T95E2 has many more hit points than me, I'm more than happy to just be patient and wait for him to make the first move. I was hopeful that when this Sherman Jumbo arrived that I was going to get some easy damage hits to gain an advantage, but this player has his tank perfectly angled and is not showing any more than he needs to. There's barely any chance for a penetration here. Now that my Hellcat teammate is moving forward, we give up a strong defensive position. There would be no point in me moving forward with him because then it would become a battle of hit points, which I definitely can't win. But now my attention has to be split between the two enemies, and so it's becoming very difficult to get a shot on either of them. But I decide to prioritize the enemy Tier 8, even if it means taking a shot from the Tier 6. The enemy T95E2 makes a move, and it gives me an opportunity to even the hit points here. My Hellcat teammate is attacking the Sherman Jumbo, but unfortunately without my support, he's outmatched. Now it's a 2-on-1 battle here, but I'm still just mainly worried about this Tier 8. But I've been able to wear down his hit points quite a bit, so it's going to be a very close battle. I was definitely taken by surprise here that he continued to press his assault, even though I had worn down his hit points quite a bit. I almost didn't make it out of this one alive. I'm now down to 16 hit points and the enemy T95E2 is about the same. But the main problem here is that I have to give up my position, because I can't take another hit here, even from the Tier 6, which I had so far just been ignoring. There was a small chance that this shot would have hit, but unfortunately it just hits my teammate's wreck. This here was just a panic shot. I thought there was a gap between the tanks, I was wrong, and now it is going to cost me. And the enemy T95E2 manages to destroy me. It was quite a final stand, but it wasn't enough. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game I earned 79,000 silver without any multipliers, remembering that I had to pay for 3 premium consumables. And I earned 1,851 experience. In this game I dealt 4,992 damage, assisted with 22 damage, and destroyed 3 enemies while blocking 1,945 damage. Unfortunately, I didn't earn anything spectacular this game besides 5 points towards the American Dream Machine's EarnOp, which is actually how I got this tank. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,122, which is pretty good for a defeat. I managed to hit 27 of my 40 shots and penetrate 22 of those, which isn't fantastic reliability, but I was taking a lot of snapshots and I was still breaking in the tank. A big congratulations to the surviving enemy players, especially respect 1974 with the T95E2 that bested me, which had about the same damage as me but an awesome 8 kills and 2,106 base XP. This game shows the great potential of the T95E2, with one at the top of each team and having about 5,000 damage each, which is a lot for a tier 8 battle. In terms of crew and module damage, I injured the loader and the leopard, injured the commander and damaged the viewport in the KV3, and damaged the viewport in the Super Pershing. Well, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing that very close game with the T95E2. It's not often that you see the same tank on the top of each team with about the same amount of damage, but it does showcase this tank's potential when it's in the right circumstances. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.